they'll go with a 4-4-2 diamond formation for that early lead.
An early goal will settle the nerves.
The away team has been in bad form. They will feel the pressure.
The home side's kept 2 clean sheets in a row.
It's all about momentum.
Who will have the stamina to last the 90 minutes?
The star striker is suspended.
They've got no kappa.
The marking will be tight.
This will be won or lost in the midfield.
This is why I bet.
This is why I bet.
This is why I bet. Betway, for the love of the game.
So somewhere last week, and I'm who say Tima Kunkum of a multimedia group, and I say Adum TV. She wanted to do a very good gesture to somebody, and then per what I saw her post on a social media platform, that is Instagram now, and I'm saying, I need to meet this woman. Now, but tell the story, how he beat me abuano. It is unfortunate that you can't see her face because of what we're coming to talk about. But senior OJ etononyom no nipa ewo mra ote asemdin Zionfelix na me mia me mame anti abena ena wa ha mame ma wachi wachi bia boko de nka bitu kasa kese na mia nka be me de mbacho ye hu anim de but ka obeka who you are share wachi oye hwan
mbacho me deni
Yemfa blana.
My wife for 15 years.
Okay.
Me won kwala me.
Okay. Me mama no.
Penny no 13 years.
Okay.
And I keep on with 3 years.
Okay. Oni omunya nete.
That's right.
Mo Accra nzo kuma sana ACCRA da na Zionfa.
You Accra.
Accra yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's go straight to the issue. I know the issue. I read what Tima Troye means a full story in governor kind when to me and Canina. What is the issue? Issue na as any day.
The issue is that M.A.D my wife for 15 years.
Yeah.
We need my ete. In fact, we were working in the same
company
service.
Okay.
It's a government service.
Okay.
And we dated for a year and we got married.
So 16 years no.
About 15 years.
You mean 15 years? Okay. Like
we
2005.
For a long time.
Okay.
We dated for some few months. Yes. And me who initial stages was saying mommy say on worrying cranny because in cranny no ye wa nkwala ye memani dia. Enti
no ye cranny.
No ni papa ya santini.
Okay.
And ni papa ni mommy free boko. Enti okay na misu no problem. But we love each other in the and yeah big little tradition. Gas tradition. Say wow, nkwala no hu there. So we were dating when suddenly this guy came back and I say, ni mommy say I should get pregnant before they marry me. Because nowadays in my abano, I'm tired abortions. So person be ba worry me akona into me call. I say, assemble na okay. I think I was at 28, 29, between 28 and 29 years. In fact, I kind of makuma here because I've never gotten pregnant in my life before. And see, I thought it was going to affect me. But suddenly, I got pregnant. And he himself even told me, say, unim say unim. Let me say, me or say you are pregnant. Go and check. But some say me if I you fundamental, me a minina mukeke. So we go check here 3 months. And also, my friend mommy, any Ghana. My friend, no brana. No mukoya mamre. Ni mommy ni papa ni ho. But he can get hold of the father. Ni papa ni a judge.
Okay.
Nti about the son of friend ni mommy ni say ye man of some few months or beba. Nti ye wo ho na woman na bai. Obai ni ye train for a month. One cafe. Nti mini ni mommy e call ni papa fee. And I me mommy ko born ni papa man ni say na ye say ni ex-wife e kan. Say ni se na ba. Nti we don't know why she's delaying. Si papa no friend wife, ex-wife no bisane say, this is asemo bidi abetu ni na eba ne say. Maame no say me wo no fa akwala no. But on pema so. Nti papa no bisa ne say ma ye no boni bia na. O say debi. Nye no boni bia. She just doesn't want me to be the daughter-in-law. And I mean, I make her ne papa and say, well, if that be the case, me bano you people don't have any child with us. Because if you don't marry my daughter or warrior, there's no way we'll give you that child. Ne papa no know your hine. And so the father said no. He will not allow a royal blood to be kept somewhere. And say, ni papa no friend me ni me kum. No, besides, he said, do we love each other? He said, yes. So, okay, fine. I'll marry you. After a bear man, a warrior bar, a man, a bar. And see, papa no, as I saw your hini no, obeba me crow my baba M.A.D no. It's going to be a long process for him to be there because he's a chief and he has to seek permission from the chief of my town before he can come. Because he will not be allowed to sit on any ordinary chair. You see, and carrying all those things to my town. The father decided that, no, the pregnancy, I was 6 months by then. The pregnancy is coming out. And they are royals. He doesn't want any disgrace. So he delegated people from his family. But the day of our engagement, my husband went mad. He was nowhere to be found. I didn't see my husband. So a cousin of his, Odi Omuichi Bae, no Muma Odi Kawano, a shame. But we engagement in and Mamma is okay. If you can't find him, let me take you home. Nakoda, at least in your condition, and then I will see him. And see, you call me Mammy home. And you may know me will fear na. You could see a dead day. It will be Mammy feel. Where's my wife? Where's my wife? No, yet the day. Me who is sad and me name says son and out here. And see, ye pay, he was almost naked. So luckily for us, my dear son. So not a lot of people didn't see what was happening. It's a cousin of mine, Bema, who feel, see Debbie. My infant go hospital. And I fan giddy, I need to call ACCRA psychiatric hospital. But it was there when we got there that we realized that he had that track.
So when you know, I'm sure.
I didn't show. I did not see anything. He had that track. So when we got there, they were all asking me, "Where is the sister? Where is the mother?" And I'm saying, "Hey, what is happening?"
So they are aware.
They are aware, and they never ever told me anything. I was already pregnant. I was married to a guy that is mad. A guy, it's so painful that I lost a relationship because of this pregnancy issue. I wasn't getting pregnant, so the guy left me. He thought maybe I'm barren. But this is the only guy who was able to impregnate me. From my youth to that age, I never got pregnant. So I was like, okay, what do I do? I've put myself into it already. So we paid everything and they took care of him. The next day, I went to the hospital with my cousin. He was okay. And then I asked him, what happened to you? He said the mother sacked him from his house. Apparently, he was living with his mother. He was living in the mother's house at Taifa. And because he said he would marry me, the mother went for people to come and beat him up and threw his things away. And so it triggered that situation. So I said, okay, no problem.
So was it a problem from his infancy or?
I don't know how that thing started, but from the stories he tells me, you see, the whole thing is, I don't know. I don't know if it is spiritual or it is something that is life. I don't know. The whole thing looks so messy and so you can't. It's like a puzzle. You don't really know what causes that problem in his life. So me, that day, what I did was, when he was discharged, I took him to my mom's place. And my mom said, okay, fine. When they came to marry you, this is the money that your fathers also gave me. Me, I lost my father at the age of 1. I don't know my father, and my mother never got married again. So it's like she said, okay, this is what your father has brought to me. That it's your portion, my portion of the marriage right. So my mother gave me the money, and she said, go and look for a hotel and go with your husband. The next day, I'll come there, call me. So I remember there was a hotel at Nungwa Beachcomber. So I took him there, and we went to stay there. We paid for 5 nights, but we were scared to go for the 6th night because we didn't have money. I was heavily pregnant. So on the 4th day, I said, okay, he's a little okay, so he should let us pick a straw. So we picked a straw. Fortunately, we saw a house that there was a hall and chamber being rented. So we went there. He said, hey, do we have money? I said, don't worry, let's go. So we went. And I went to speak to the woman. And the woman said, oh, I'll give it to you people. But there's a lot of work to be done there because the hall is like a porch. So we have to do windows and paint and then do porch too. So I said, no problem. I'm working. I was working with a hotel by then. I was a front desk. So I said, you don't worry. God will provide. So I called my mother and I told her. She said, don't worry, I'll come there the next day. So my mom came with a friend and they went to speak to the landlady. And my mother told the landlady that she doesn't have money, neither do we. But if she could understand us, she can borrow 2 million and come and give it to her so that she holds it. Then as time goes on, we pay her the rest. Fortunately, the woman said, okay, no problem. So the woman took us in. My mother paid for the 2 million. The next day, my mother got a truck and gave us a bed, a mattress, pillow, cooking utensils, everything a woman could start life with. My mother did all that for us. He got us paint, and then a painter came to paint the room for us. So I took a little leave for my marriage. After that marriage, my leave was over, and I went to work. And I went to take a loan from the bank. I was earning 3.5 by then. I went to take a loan to complete the rent that we have rented. All this while, my husband, the medication they gave him, he became timid. So he's dull. So they gave him some leave, sick leave. So we were there when I gave birth. By God's grace, I gave birth. My mother will come every morning, come and give us food. When she's coming, she comes with afternoon and evening things. She'll cook
Lunch
for
and supper.
lunch, everything. My mother did all these things for us until gradually, when almost the 2 years was going over, the house, they had no proper toilets. We queue public toilets. So when he was okay, I said, okay, Daddy, can we go and rent a better place? And so a friend of his got him a place at Achimota, and we moved in there. But there was once a guest who came to sleep in our hotel. I treated him so kindly. So he said he was opening an inspection company in this country. And I said, oh, okay, all right. He came to conduct interview. So after everything, one day he checked out. And I was there when I had a call from a lady. He said, Madam, you are supposed to start work on this day in this company. And I said, I've not written any application to anywhere. So that is where the woman told me that it was Mr. Baba. His name is Lee Baba. He said, Mr. Lee Baba said he wants you to be his assistant. So they called me and I went. They said, do I drive? I said, no. They said, you are entitled to a car. You are this, you are that. I said, but the salary too was okay back then, 8 million. So I was like, what is happening? And I accepted the job because my husband's salary is not that much and I've taken loan. So we have a child, so we need to survive. So at the end of the day, I took the job up. But the government changed hands. So the man was supposed to get his license. He couldn't get it because the government changed. So at the end of the day, they took me to their head office to go and work there. We were there when, in fact, this is something I hid it as a secret from my husband. It is recently I told him about it because he was transferred to Kumasi. He went mad again when we went to that Achimota house. So apparently when he went mad, he went to tell the bosses that he wants to be transferred to Kumasi. And they took him seriously. So they transferred him. I was there when he came, he said, I've been transferred. I asked for it and I said, okay, fine, you can go. So he went. But the pressure he was giving me was too much.
To also come to Kumasi?
Not that. My money is finished. My salary is finished. I was in Accra with our boy. Sometimes, most of the time, every month I have to send him money. In Kumasi, he doesn't send us money. The pressure was too much for me. So I ended up taking gifts from people that I am not supposed to. Because the company I was in, they said no gifts. But the pressure is too much for me. So I one day took a gift of 5 cedis because I didn't have money to even pick a car and go back home that day. And that was the end of my job. Because he wasn't providing. He rather would call. Sometimes I'll be in that office, my husband will come. He would drive to the office and say, I need money. And I'll give it to him. When I was in the hotel, it was very bad. Any gift I get gifts. $100 every day. If I go to work, the least money I go home with is $50. All those monies. Immediately he sees you have money, my car, my this, my that. Before you realize the money is gone. So I lost that job and I went to sit in a house. I decided to run a cold store. So I was running the cold store. And then he came and he said, I should come and join you in Kumasi. Because me being here, I'm not working now. Rent and light bill and everything. So I said, no problem, I'll go with you. He lost his father. So we went to bury him. So I think the property that the father left, his portion that was given to him, when we went to Kumasi, he got that money. I said, okay, Daddy, my family has a plot. My family gave me a plot at Chado. My family, my grandmother, her side of her family, they own the Chado lands. So one of my grandfathers from that side gave me, when I was young, gave me a half plot of land at Chado that he gave to my mother to keep it for me. When I grow up, then she gives it to me. So before the father would die, my mother gave me the land because I was married. So she said, this is what was given to you from your childhood. I've kept it, so take it. So I took it. And I took my husband to his father. And we told the father. And we went to my grandfather's place. My grandfather said we have to pay, how much was that? He said we have to pay 7 million so that they will do the papers for me. So the father, that's my father-in-law, helped us with the money. Even that one, the father called me and he said, my son said, this is the situation. So the father said, come with my son. I want to give you the money personally. And the father gave me the money personally. And we went to do the papers. They asked me for the name and I said, he is my husband. So please put his name there. At least if it is in his name, I'm his missus. I'm his legally wedded wife. So if it is in his name, it is also in my name. And he's the man. I don't want it to be in my name. Then maybe I will start showing some arrogancy towards him that my husband doesn't have anything and I do have this. So they put this document in my husband's name. The money that was given to him when his father died, I said, okay, Daddy, why don't you go and put a house on my land in M.A.D so that at the end of the day we can rent it out, some are out, and we can leave one room if we go for visit, we can go and do what? Stay there. He said the mother said you shouldn't go and put up a house on a woman's land. I said, okay, so what do we do? Fine, if that be the case, we are in Kumasi. Let's look for a plot and put up a house here so that it will stop us from renting. He agreed, and we went to look for a plot. And we put up a 4-bedroom house on it with the money. It was left with roofing, and the money was finished. So we were there one day, and he called me. He said the mother has come to Kumasi. You see, the funny thing is when he goes mad like that, the mother stays away from him. So the sickness becomes my burden. How he will recover, they don't care. So when the mother came, he said, my mother has come. She said she came purposely to go and see our house. She's heard that we are putting up a house. So she wants to come go and see the house. I said, hey, but what kind of statement is this? Why can't your mother wait if we finish everything? We'll come and pick her. At least she can come and spend 1 week with her grandson. But the house we have not completed. And she says she's in Kumasi purposely to go and see the house. My husband, it is not right. He said, he's my mother. I have to go. Whether you like it or not. Daddy, he took the mother to the house. And that was the beginning of my headache in my marriage. We finished this, we roofed this house, plastered 2 rooms, packed sitting room things in the other room. We used the other room for bedroom. We entered into the house. I didn't have my peace of mind. He went mad again. So people in the community were even saying, and now you used to seek a drew. And I keep on telling them no. And when it happens like that, he staffs me. Yes, he staffs me. I've gone through hell in Kumasi. I started going to church.
He starts you as like you don't eat.
He doesn't give, he doesn't provide. When it happens like that, he doesn't care. He will go to town and eat and come back. Even water to drink. When he's coming, he brings 2 pieces. One he will use the next day.
But how does it go to? How does it go outside when he's not in a good state?
He is a smart man. When you get close to him, and they don't tell you he has this problem, you will never know. But it's when you get close to him, and he starts talking, and the kasana started going off, then you realize that no, this man he's not okay. So that thing started again. So through the crying and the frustration, we didn't have lights in the house. He can take my small boy to town and come back as late as 9. Reptile snakes were all over in the house because it's a new site. The generator we are using is the pulling one. I can't pull it. So when he sits and he's not back, I am in the room. I can't go out. I don't know anybody there. So one day, he went to work and I decided to pick a straw. And I went and met a church. I went to lay on the altar and cried to God that he should save me from this. It's getting too much. And then one woman came. He is a woman fellowship leader. Not knowing, she saw me the way I was crying. So she came to console me. So every day I decided that instead of staying in the house and crying, I'll go to church. Anytime he leaves the house, I'll go to church. So I started going to the church. Every day, morning till evening, he will come back. When it happens like that, he drinks excessively, he smokes excessively, and he buys drinks for people. He's like a Father Christmas. So he doesn't see the worth of giving me and his son money or food. That at the end, I say, when it happens, he free me, so he doesn't see me as his wife. He sees me as the enemy. So that sickness came, and I went through trial with him in that house. One day, during that sickness issue, I was in my son's room opposite our room, and the one we use for the hall. My son sleeps there. So I went to sweep there, and I heard him talking to the mother. He was on a speakerphone. You see, when it happens like that, he's not himself. So he doesn't even care what he does. So I heard him talking to the mother. And what I heard was the mother was like, papers na wo di ma ndi o ye wo dia. Ofa papers the brem na me fancy. So I said, I kept quiet and went to the bedroom to sit down. Lo and behold, he came. And he came to take the documents. And I said, Daddy, why are you taking the documents? He said, I'm going to give it to my mother to keep it from. Mommy said I should bring it. I said, this is my family property. This is not yours. Do you know how much they sell that land there? Did you buy it? And you want to go and give this document to your mother?
The land
Land papers to your mother. If your mother gets hold of these papers, I am doomed. Because the way the state you are in, she can even let you sign a document and hand over the land to her. It is in your name. How can I compete this when I go to court? It's not in my name. So I said, no, I will not allow you to take it. He said, I will take it. So I went to the kitchen and took a knife. And I said, if you don't give me the papers, I will cut you with this knife. Then he got scared and dropped the knife and dropped the papers on the floor. And I took the papers and tore it into pieces. Yes. I tore the papers into pieces because I realized that the woman wants to render me hopeless in this world. She doesn't like me already. So why do you want to take my property away from me? Immediately I tore it. I called my cousin, and one of them works in land, and I told him the situation. He said, don't worry. Look for money and come. I'll do it and put it in your name. So I called some uncles and some friends. They helped me. They sent the money to land to my cousin, and he did the papers in my name and sent it to VIP, and I went to take it. And I told him that now I have changed the papers into my name. It is my legal document, so I've changed it. He went to tell the mother that I took knife. I said I want to kill him. Neither did the mother ask me anything, but that was the story they were spreading among their family members. That I wanted to kill my husband. I said, okay, no problem. I am still married to you. We were there. Gradually, my husband became okay. Those times that he got mad, Daddy, it wasn't easy for me. I remember one day he went out. I didn't know. He took my phone. The phone I call people to give me mobile money on to survive. He took the phone away. And he locked the door when I was in the bathroom. When he locked the door, not knowing he has taken my extra keys. This man took my son away since morning. The boy has not bathed. And he went, locked me inside, and came back 10 p.m. It hasn't been easy for me. Not knowing all this while, he's been telling our son, like telling the boy stories to stay, like to dislike me. He was able to even tell our son, as young as 6 years, that he went to sleep with a woman and the condom nearly burst. This is the kind of man I was married to. I showed him love, but I never knew this is how he is. He was turning my own son against me.
So where is he now?
I don't know where he is.
I still married to him.
We are still married. He left home 2 months ago. He started by going to work since morning, coming back at 1:30 to 2:30 in the morning. When he goes to work in the morning at 6, he leaves the house at 6. He comes back the next day, 1:30 to 2. He started this thing in August. Just this August. I complained about it. He said he goes to the mother's place. The mother has a restaurant. He said he and the sister are boosting the mother's business. So that's where he goes. Initial stages, when I asked him, he told me I'm a woman. I'm not supposed to ask him where he goes. But when it got to September, October, that was when he told me that he goes to the mother's place. When you cook, excuse me, he doesn't eat my food. He doesn't give you money. If he will give you money, say abani more. he started giving us 30 cedis.
In 2020.
Yes, me and the 2 children. He gives us 30 cedis for a week. When I complained, he started making me 60. 60 cedis for 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks. That is what I am going through.
Kumasi.
Yes, we moved. In fact, when I got pregnant with my second boy, he went to tell the mother I was pregnant. And he went mad again. He went mad again. This time, it was serious. I had diabetes-induced pregnancy. My pressure was up. I wasn't working because he asked me to stay in the house and take care of the children. I should just support him with prayers. I decided to disobey him. And I went to report it to one of his father's friends, a judge, a lady judge. And the woman called me and advised me that he's your husband. Whatever he wants, just obey him. So I just keep quiet. I remember the last job I did in Kumasi. There was this photocopier company. They came to open. And it was opposite my son's school. I took my son to school and I saw it. And I went to apply. And they gave me the job just because I'm from M.A.D. They said they closed at 6. And I said, okay, I'll take it. Because my husband doesn't come early. He will come after 8. So at least I could go home, cook for him before he even comes. When I got the job, exactly 3:30, my husband will come there and say he has closed, we should go home. He will be playing loud music. He will be driving recklessly. He will be smoking. In fact, well, yes, I'm a Jumano bomb. A Jumano bomb, and he started coming home 8:30, 9:30. So, I just decided that let me obey him, like the judge said. And I sat in the house. When I got pregnant and he went to tell the mother I was pregnant, he got mad again. This time, the mother and the sister bought plane ticket for my husband. They didn't tell me. And they took my husband out of Kumasi to Accra. He introduced somebody there for me in Kumasi as their family friend. He said the mother's friend's son. So his name is, I don't want to mention his name. So I called him and I said, please, where is my husband? He said, I don't know. Your mother-in-law said I shouldn't tell you where your husband is. As I'm talking to you, when I called him, when he started misbehaving, I go to work with him because the time he picks my son and brings him home, I don't like it. The boy that can't do his own work. He can't sleep well. So I go with him and I sit in his office and wait for him. And so I was in the office waiting for him for us to go and pick my son. And the mother and the sister bought plane tickets for him and he left me and the boy in his office. He didn't say anything to us. So around 6 p.m., I went outside with my boy to stand there. And a colleague of his came and he said, madam, what are you doing here with your son? I thought you guys are home. I said, we are not home. We are waiting for daddy. Daddy said he was going to buy something. He said, who? Your husband called me. He said he was on a plane going to Accra. Mickey, he knew I didn't have money. Not even 1 cedi on me. And he left us. I became a beggar with my pregnancy on Edum Street with my son. My son stayed away from school. I had to go and beg for money before I can survive. Because I was using insulin. There is this small bottle to control my sugar. Every week I have to buy that medicine, 60 cedis. My husband was nowhere to be found. How do I buy it? I inject myself in the morning and in the evening before I can eat. Sometimes I inject myself in trotro. So wherever I go, I'm holding ice chest with my insulin in it and my syringe. Gradually, I called my elder sister and I told her about what was happening. And she said, look, come home. Your condition, you come and give birth. Do you know when I got to Accra around 1:30 a.m.? I called my sister and my sister told me that the husband said she shouldn't accommodate. What do I do? What do I do? So I decided to sleep in a circle on my luggages with my son. We were there when a taxi driver came and he said, Madam, your condition and where you are staying, I don't think it's advisable. Let me take you to a hotel. I said, sir, I don't have money. He said, don't worry, let me take you. The man took us and gave us 50 cedis. The next day, I went to use some of the 50 cedis to buy cocoa. Now we are left to check out. We didn't have money. And I took my phone. I saw his cousin who put a ring on my finger, his number. And I called him. Apparently, luckily for us, he lived in that area. So he asked us the name of the hotel. I told him. Within 5 minutes, the guy was there. He said, Mercy, what is wrong with you? I said, this is what I've been going through. And he took me and my son and took us to my mother's place. He said, go to your mother. When I got to my mother's place, my mother said when I got married, a cousin of mine moved in with her in a single room. So there's no space for me to come and sleep there. No money, pregnant. My son is out of school for 2 terms. No job. I took my phone and I started making calls. Fortunately, I called a friend who lives in Celeb in the same community with my elder sister. He is in Germany and I spoke to him, but his wife is in the house, Ghana here with their daughter. Immediately I told him, I said, Uncle, this is my situation. He said, wait, I'll call you back. I gave him 5 minutes. Exactly 5 minutes he called. He said, look, I've spoken to my wife. She said you should come, go. Pick a drop and go. My wife will pay. And I went and the woman gave me a room. And we stayed there. We were there. I was left with 2 weeks to give birth. When we were there, how to survive there, it wasn't easy. Every morning, me and my son has to dress up and go around Accra City. All the old friends I know, just to go and beg them for money to eat because we need to survive. Sometimes I have to go to my sister and beg her. If my husband comes to see you, he will get her money.
Okay. It is a very long story, a very sad and long story. So this is the story of Unyaba or sister or Wadina Stabina. Ewa. But if you want to help you, how do we help you?
For now, I want to work to take care of my children.
More baby team.
Maybe I am renting or not renting or sending my missing free work. Let me know Bapa into me Bobra. Anytime he will come home, insult and fight, curses on me. I was able to talk to a friend. He helped me to do a container. But he could see a trade fair. Another friend, me papa feel a trade fair anymore. Oh man, baby, this year I want to go into selling pork, both fresh and a grilled one. But I'm left with the roofing and meter for me so that I can get a freezer and put it in. Another person in Kumasi that I knew has a piggery. He also said all he wants is for me to send him ice chest. So that when I sell, I give him the money. Now I'm left to finish that shop. I just want to work because it's like it's draining me because I'm not working. Every morning when I wake up, I have to call somebody to give us food. Recently, mi bakito yi beyare, mi yem, nasu, water was coming out of the ears. When you give him food, he vomits. The elder brother to the eyes. I called my husband for 72 hours. He never picked my call. I sent him messages that Daddy, these children have been sick for 2 weeks. We've been in the house. He never minded me. So I called a friend of his. And I told the man, and the man said, meet me at the hospital closer to you. And I took my son there, and he paid the bill. So the man called him and asked him that, why are you treating your family like this? Daddy, in the evening around 9, a call came. I picked the call. It was a woman. The woman insulted me. I said, you are a promiscuous woman. You are not a shower woman. How can you pick your husband's phone, take his number, take his friend's number, and ask him money behind your husband? Your husband said he has divorced you. You are not a good woman. So after the woman insulted me, I said, Mommy, I'm sorry. I'm begging you. I just needed to save my son's life as a dead. I never thought of anything. Whether the person is married or not, I just need to save my son. That's why I called your husband. Forgive me. But if only you can listen to my story, you will understand where I was coming from. The woman said, talk. And I started telling the woman my story. I had to sell my child land because my husband got bent. Yes. The medication they gave to him when his mother flew him out of Kumasi was so strong that Minendo call hospital. I see part of his brain was dead. He's a walking corpse. He's a vegetable. Or to say no man in sewer. Onim say in sewer. Who stretch out the man umpo onim? Me and my 1 week. Ya me be 2 weeks. Me sorry anapa. Ya me see yes me carry mommy baby. Nobody to help me. Me we are na my dware mommy kunu. And son am dware and son am raising me funu addressing me wound. I had to sell my land to rent a room in Accra and bring him. His manhood got bent. Fire caught up with his dress and he didn't even know that he was burning. I had to rush and pour water on him. The cheap compound that was close to us treating him, they were not good, so his manhood was getting rotten. His ring, the finger went into the flesh and the flesh started growing around it. I said, no, I can't keep that land and look at my husband to die. So I sold that land just for me to put him back on his feet. We came. Fortunately, we got a good hospital. His manhood got okay. The burns on his fingers, I took him to a blacksmith, a goldsmith. They cut the ring from his finger and the hospital treated the finger, the ring for him, the ring finger. Everything was fine. Now, I went every week, I will go to psychiatric hospital with him for review. All this is coming from the land money. I had to go to his office in Accra and beg them to transfer him back to Accra because Kumasi is not helping us. Humiliations. The boss insults me, talks to me the way he like. I said, no, honey, have patience. He will transfer you. We need something, so just have patience. And he was transferred back. Just recently, he started being okay. He started going to the mother's place again. And then he started misbehaving. He flirts with me. I don't know if it is, I'll call it flirting or I would call it cheating. The kind of messages on his phone. You are the woman of my heart. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I've told my mother about you. My mother said, okay. I mean, so many things that when you read, you ask yourself, what is happening with this man? Then After the okwa one baby, he abandoned me and these kids for 2 good months. When he came back on Monday, just this Monday, he went to work. He came back, I said, oh, I've cooked. He said, I'm not going to eat, I'm going to my mother's place. He left and went and came back Tuesday morning, came to dress up, went to work. When he goes, he comes home. Now, Monday, he came back around 7:30 in the morning. Tuesday, he came back at 7:30 in the morning, went to work. We've not seen him again. We've not seen him again. Now I'm so scared because after January, children will go to school. How do I take care of my kids? How do I pay their school fees? It is Auntie Tima who came to visit me so surprisingly. She came to dash us foodstuffs and gave us some money. And I used some of the money to buy dresses for the boys because I'm fun.
Okay, so but give us your number.
055 781 7531.
Sorry, repeat my
055 781 7531.
Is it your mobile money number?
Yes.
Okay, but okay. So you will see Mercy on it.
Yes.
And then the name. So if you see Mercy on it when you're sending or I'm sure with my attribute Mercy Abena, it will come. But if you're in Ghana, I will send the name will pop up. But make sure that there is a Mercy with the name. I mean, she has some few things that she wants to do. She wants to do a pork business, also about container, also, and then any other help that you think you can help her with. But your number BM
055
055
055 781
781
75
31.
Yes.
Okay, so she has told us a story. It is time for us to help her. I said earlier, say money power or say you can see her face. I mean, yes, it is for a purpose, and you know why. You don't need to see her face before you help her. I mean, the story and the condition that she's in is why we need to help her. But for the last time, on no money because I'm here.
055 781 7531.
Okay, so that's the pass by. Be very fine.
That's
Let me show. Thank you for also watching. My name is Zionfelix. But you're more a sister na untimi sinda dem na untimi emboa ne mami no because they are the future of this land. Bye bye.
Ago adofo me chiamo it is saying me did the mama say wa na me wasem de be catch what a tap sending ka Debbie what's it say na wo she mama can share way tap send app obetimi atwe agu phone so na wo baabia wo Europe wotimi send sika ko Ghana ekoma wadofo ententem hona na se omo moji sika no so mo MTN so Vodafone Tigo ana se Airtel so a omo benya sika ne ententem hona na de wo mu kra ne se fees bia anka ho untua fees bia and exchange rate no so was so kama or iPhone ana se wo Android that de obeya ne se obekọ App Store no na wa hwehwe tap send chale me say menye ja ho me say tapo na send